Hey ninjas, Asian Evasion here, and welcome back to another episode of New on Steam. Today we are on day 2 of Citizen Sleeper, not Star Citizen. Sci-fi games, very similar name. But I don't remember too much of the progress we made yesterday. It was really dialogue heavy, so we're just going to hop in and see where we left off at. So let's go ahead and continue, and I am Operator Cycle 16. I wonder if there is a max cycle where the game just ends if you hit that cycle. No clue, but cycles I'm assuming is like turns. So let's go ahead and see where we left off. It's a new day, I remember that much. So let's go ahead to the container and rest until the end cycle. Okay, resting, gonna get some new dye. It looks like we're good on our stats so far, except for our hunger. We kind of messed that up yesterday. And I'm low on cryo, so we got some good rolls this time. So we're gonna go ahead and today just play the exchange. So where's the exchange at? Right here. So we're gonna drop some good dye here. And we're going to try to recoup some of our loss that we had yesterday, right before we logged off. So I got some 12 cryo, 12 more cryo. So far, so good. This one's going to be risky. So I have a 25% chance of losing cryo. And we lost cryo energy and I'm starving. Okay. I gotta probably save my rolls. My low rolls, but it was only a 25% chance. How was I supposed to know? Okay, so here's the bar that we have to pay the tab every 4 cycles. So let's go ahead and eat. Drop some cryo off, get 3 back. Get 3 hunger gauge back. And then we're gonna head back. And then we're gonna go to the bar down here. And we're gonna exchange some cryo for 2 hunger. Okay, that looks good. Let's go ahead and go back and rest since I can't really do anything without some dye. Can I end cycle? Am I at the wrong place? And so you aren't finished with the cycle. Complete active scenes to proceed. Okay, so it forces you to talk to people that are up. So I know we left Sabine. We had to wait for him to contact us back. He wanted to lay low for a little while. 4 cycles, Sabine said, and here you are, right on time, with no sign of them. You wait a while in the apartment, the dread descending as the cycle spins onward. They should be here. Check the terminal, check the door, wait. Let's check the terminal. You check and double check the terminal for messages and or recordings. Nothing. Just the pale glow of the silence. Let's go ahead and check the door. You pace back and forth around the apartment. The rumbling of the station suddenly so present and loud. You go to the door and open it to find an empty corridor. Let's just wait. You try to settle down, to wait. You sit on the bunk and stare out at the tiny room. Where the hell are they? I'll knock at the door. Let's go ahead and open it, even though it's not our apartment. Ooh, who is this? Rabia. A figure stands in the door and immediately you know it's not Sabine. They are taller, sharper, and something in their face glints in the half-light. A dark shape, like a stubby baton, hangs loosely from her hand. She is a loyal, yet again, lieutenant. Okay, so she's a big dog. Our local sleeper. Good to finally meet you. She steps into the apartment, glancing around with sharp eyes. What, may I ask, are you doing here? She fixes you with a steady, unwavering stare. Waiting for a friend? Nothing? Stay silent. Let's say nothing. Nothing. She laughs. No need to get jumpy. We just need to discuss our mutual friend. She walks past you in the apartment, glancing around. We set them up here, you know. This place is one of ours. She picks up the glass from the dispenser and inspects it. People always seem to forget who put them where they are. She glances at you. And I suppose you are here to help? Something like that? Good, good. She puts the glass down and turns to face you. I love to meet helpers. We need so many, but can find so few with the right skills. She spins the baton in her fingers by her side, her eyes not leaving yours. We have a problem, you and I. It seems our friend has disappeared, left without saying goodbye, which means they are in a little trouble now. But it's the kind of trouble that you need help for, so I thought I'd come down here and take a look at their little hidey hole, and here you are, the help. She looks through the detritus on the side. And what help? A sleeper, no less, which I have to admit is a little surprising. It suggests to me that our friend hasn't been very honest with you either. What do you mean? Well, I'm sorry to report that before we got them set up here, Sabine was working for your owners. She pauses, Essen Arp. You blink hard at the news, unsure how to take it. Rabia looks away, waiting for a response. Prove it? Happily, she crosses into the next room and you follow silently. She sits there, she sits at the terminal and touches her baton at one of the access ports. A spark, then the terminal screen skips, encrypted folders emptying themselves before your eyes. In the flicker of the files, you see Essen Arp letterheads and code forms. Reports laden with medical data marked with corporate logo like a sigil of some cult. Rabia steps away from the terminal. Look all you want, some of your files may even be here. The volume of documents is overwhelming, but they seem to be mostly reports on early emulation tests, surveys with sleeper candidates, reams and reams of usage data. If Sabine was an Essen Arp employee, why did they help you? Rabia reaches over and places a vial of stabilizer on the desk, breaking your concentration. It shimmers in the screen light. It's vicious, clear liquid crystalline within the glass. We will, of course, keep up supply. We are more than able to dispense important medicines even without the doctor. You hold it between your fingers, and for a tiny moment you have the urge to crush this object with the power it has over you. I'll ask Tershio to make those a little cheaper for you. Oh, that'd be nice. He'll be running the surgery now. Rabia closes up the briefcase lab and holds it at her side. We have to retrieve our assets, of course, but I'm sure you understand. Rabia turns on her way out. There is no reason for us to be enemies, Sleeper. Come see me. I keep an office nearby. We have good work to do. You and I. Meet me there in a few cycles. She slips out silently in the corridor. You look around the apartment and feel the fear drain out of your body to reveal the tiredness beneath. Okay, so it looks like we got an upgrade point. And I need 2 to get this discounted cryo. So we're going to hold on to this point for a little while. Okay, so I don't think we have any more active scenes. So we're going to go ahead back to the container again. And we're going to end the cycle. Even though I have stabilizer, I'm going to hold on for another few cycles until our die gets a little bit lower. So these are some pretty okay rolls. Enough to get 2 good rolls in for playing the exchange. So we're going to go ahead and play the exchange a little bit more. We're going to get 12 cryo from that. And 19 cryo for that because of our bonus. Let's go ahead back to the bar. We're going to buy some rations. And we're going to keep our hunger gauge as full as we can when we can. Okay. So let's continue. What was I doing? I don't remember what I was doing, so we're just going to look around blindly. Let's see, we have one more cycle till we have to repay our debt. So let's go to the wet dock and see what we see here. Nothing here. Let's go check on this person. So we can do hull repairs or rewire drones. We're going to do rewire drones. Since we have a +1 to this. So we're going to help fix the ship. So a +1 knocks it up. So I can't drop die in there. There's a cross through it. 50% chance neutral, 50% chance negative. Let's go ahead and just risk it. So we knew our outcome. We got ship shape. That didn't give us any clock cycle for grounded. So I think we're done for the day. We're here. So we're gonna focus on that for now. Playing the exchange to get some more cryo and fixing her ship. I can't remember her name. Okay, so we got some decent rolls this time. So let's go ahead and get some food. Fill up 2 hunger gauge. We're using this food person right here because it gives 2 gauge rather than the, this person right here, which gives 3 gauge, which costs a little bit more expensive, a third more expensive. So it's about 5 cryo per food gauge if you average it up. So let's go ahead and play the exchange. 100% chance positive. Got 19 cryo for that. Got 19 cryo for that. Okay, so we're getting our cryometer back up fairly nicely. Go back to the ship. Can I do anything here? No, it looks like I can't drop die on rewire the drones just yet. But we can drop a die over here, start the action, and see what happens. Ship shape. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. Oh, it's adding to ship shape, not grounded. Okay, I was looking at the wrong section. So let's go ahead and head to Ethan. The compressor is quiet today. The usual crowds are elsewhere, and the pumping music washes over a handful of spacers and a few drunks. Ethan is still in the same stool in the same pool of light. His head is low, close to the bar, and the bartenders ignore him. Approach him. As you get closer, he lifts his head and turns. Sleeper, he turns to look at you. Time to pay up again, is it? He gestures to the bartender. Come here and take their shits. No more, Ethan. Ethan doesn't even look at you. He props his elbows down on the bar and holds his head. Sleeper, it's been a long cycle. Enough. Ethan lets out a long sigh. He rapidly rubs his eyes with his palms. You're right, he says quietly. This isn't fun anymore. He reaches towards his holster. His elbow slips and the gun tumbles out. It clatters on the bar and falls to the floor, bouncing on the ground between you. Both of you and the bartender look at the gun and stare at it. Butterfinger, says Ethan, and puts out his hand, beckoning for you to give him the gun back, if you would. The bartender looks at you warily. You crouch down and pick up the gun. Yeah, I'm gonna point at this asshole. Ethan turns his head in your direction a little, and sharp, pale eye locking with yours. The bartender backs away. Oh, he turns on the stool. Oh, Sleeper, he stands. This is more like it. Pull the trigger. You don't wait. You pull the trigger. The gun clicks. By now, all the attention in the bar is on you and Ethan, who looks at his gun with bemused expression. The bartender raises an open hand, and in are 10 shiny bullets. 10 shiny bullets you took out of Ethan's gun when he was asleep at the bar. Ethan smiles at the bartender. Oh well, he says, and grabs the gun, slamming it back into your face with a single move. You stagger back and drop to a knee. Somewhere nearby, the gun clatters onto the surface. The hit's a glancing blow that makes your vision swim. Through the blur, you see Ethan rustle a small, thin slate from his belt, then hold it up. Enough of this. I'm logging the job and calling it in. Ethan taps on the slate. No more playing. Your head aches. Ethan taps through a few screens impatiently. He swears and taps again. He starts shouting a dull echo to your ringing ears. He starts screaming at the slate and throws it across the bar. He crouches down and grabs you by the chin, his face close, breathing heavy with drink. S&ARP just screwed me, he grins manically. They canceled the contract. He stands up. They canceled the contract. He shouts at the ceiling of the compressor. You stand up, struggling to your feet, the sting of the hit fading. Ethan is rubbing his temples, his face pale. You hear a click sound, like coins being counted, like bullets being loaded into a magazine. When you shake off the last of the blur, the bartender has Ethan's pistol trained on Ethan's head. Ethan stumbles back towards him in the middle of the room, all eyes trained on him. "I'll kill all of you," he screams. He stumbles into the wall, spinning away towards the door. "I'll be back for that," he shouts at the bartender and lunges out of the compressor. You steady yourself on the bar and catch your breath. The rumble of conversation returns. The bartender goes to say something, but then thinks better of it and begins to clean the bar. After a while, you wander out into the light of the bright market, looking for Ethan around every corner. Okay, so looked like we really lucked out there. Quite the turn of events. So we have to go talk to Rabia now, the Yatagan lieutenant. As you approach the address Rabia gave you, a heavy hand falls on your shoulders. "What's your business here?" The enforcer grips your shoulder, giving you a hint of the strength of her implants give her. As you turn, you see the same subsidiary eyes as Rabia and Toshio have, glinting like mirrors on her cheeks. "Jaya, please. The sleeper is here by my invitation." At Rabia's command, the hand immediately loosens, and an apologetic look replaces the scowl on Jaya's face. "Of course, Rabia. I'm sorry." Rabia waves her hand. "Don't you worry. I appreciate your protective instincts." She smiles at the enforcer. "How about you head to Tambor? They have a delivery coming and they'll need some help with the lifting." Jaya nods and walks away. "So, Sleeper, you came. I'm glad. It didn't feel like an offer." "I'm sorry for that." She smiles a tight smile. "You have to understand, finding you there in Sabine's unit, I wasn't sure where we stood. There are more than a few people on the station who would rather I was dead. I had to be sure you weren't one of them. I wish you no harm." "I am glad." Rabia begins walking and gestures for you to walk with her. She takes you down a staircase into the bustling walkways of the low end. "What do you know about Yatagan?" You're a gang." "A gang? Yes, that is what people call us. But meaning does that word have in this place?" People with carts push past, moving crates of supplies around the thin and windy passages. "Our reputation is one that implies threat. Is that fair to say? We are framed as aggressors, parasites, criminals." She gestures around at the people in the passageway. "But when the last time you saw a lawmaker on the eye, a policeman? Who makes the laws here?" "Erland did." "Indeed. You understand the history then. That is good, but Erland is a long dead sleeper, and his rules were little more than Optimist's manifesto. The eye has changed so much since then. If you had spent your time in Lowen, maybe your opinion of us would be different. This is our place, our people. The Lowen was empty in Erland's time. They didn't need to house thousands, and keeping the yards and the rotunda safe was not work enough. No, the Lowen was reclaimed later, when the refugees started arriving." Rabia meets your eye. The collapse didn't just happen here on the station. When Salheim collapsed, the entire system felt it. Colonies were abandoned. The moons of Ember and Cinder suddenly gained independence overnight. Some took advantage, some tried to hold it together, some fled. The Eye became a refuge, and Erland, to his credit, extended an open hand to everyone, but many within his organization disagreed, and those new rivals weren't as simple to quarrel as they hoped. Rabia leads you through a small market hall, busy, small stalls, and traders. Erland's union was made of workers, administrators, people who were malleable and already organized in hierarchies and networks. The refugees came from different factions and families, were scared, injured, desperate. Conflict was inevitable. Yatagan is a child of that conflict. A child born out of need for us to stand up and claim our future, provide security, strength. People call us a gang, but we are community. I take my position as lieutenant seriously, and from my birth I have worked to earn it. Rabia catches herself before she raises her voice any further, and you both walk in silence for a while longer. Among the smells and textures of the low end, you start to wonder if this place could be home for you, too. Where do I come into this? Where's Sabine? Where do I come into this? Rabia smiles to herself and thinks for a moment before she responds. I believe that you understand the importance of a refuge. So, I also believe that you wish to help keep this place safe. She exhales quietly. For this reason, I would like to trust you to trust me. I do not know what Sabine told you about us, but I imagine it was not good. I will be honest with you, Sleeper. I was never comfortable with having Sabine as a part of Yet Again. An ex-corporate employee, it goes against our nature. But their deal was with Yannick. I kept my distance, made sure Sabine had their surgery, kept it supplied, and that was all. But I cannot allow people to go back on the promises they have made to us. Yet Again has not lasted this long because it's charity. We offer and ask for support. Any betrayal will be treated as an attack. They were trapped, desperate. Who's Yannick? Who's Yannick? Yannick is one of the heads of the Yet Again. They guide us. He is the newest to be elected. He is an elder. Sabine found something. I don't trust any of you. Sabine found something. Please, I do not want to hear their accusations. They only want to escape their debt. They would have said anything, but where are they now? To stand behind their claims. I will find them. As will we. You realize that Rabia has led you in a loop, and together you both come back up the staircase to the walkway where you met. You are free to go, Sleeper. I have said what I wish to say. She looks out through the windows of the walkway. I would protect this place with my life, as it has protected me. I want to make that clear. She turns back. However, if you too wish to come under its protection, I can help you. Return here if you wish, and there will be a task for you to complete. You will be able to see Yet Again, to see the low end, with your own eyes, not as others frame us. As for Sabine, she pauses to consider her words. I will not ask you to betray them, but if they contact you again, consider their motivations carefully. With that, Rabia leaves, slipping back into her office, while you stare out at the countless units, each a home, each with a story that make up the low end. Okay, so it looks like we got double-crossed. The person that was helping us actually works for the corporation that's after us. Well, I'm not sure if they're after us anymore because the contract was canceled. So, story plot developments. Let's go ahead and head back to the container and rest for the night.